So, when I was 17 years old, I got my 1986 Dodge Special Edition. Red and white. Had the cursive right down the side where like a Chevy would have Z71. This one had real pretty cursive. Special Edition. Had a 360 engine in it. Bored out. Cammed out. Truck paint wasn't the best. Interior was flawless. Interior looked like it was brand new out of the showroom. Like, no joke. Like, just beautiful interior in the truck. Beautiful interior. Truck didn't have anything other than surface rust. It didn't have any rot or anything. It had some surface rust on the hood. Had some surface rust in the back of the bed. Outside of that, the paint was pretty decent on the truck. Had the Magnum wheels that they had, the Charger Magnum wheels, like the Chargers had on them back in the day, the old school. Oh, yeah, nice. That truck right there, it was great. I traded my first Z71 for it. That was a whole nother story. You can find that one in our archive thing too. But either way, the 86 Special Edition, I got the truck from a buddy. He said, it needs a little headlight work on it. The headlights ain't working. I said, ain't no big deal. I take it over to my granddaddy's shop, and we work on the headlights, get the headlights working. So we thought. I mean, they were on. That's about all I could say. Found that out later. We got them working. It was the middle of the day. You could just see that. I mean, hey, they're coming on now. Great, wonderful. So I shot off, going back up to my mom's house. A lot happened that day. That was an eventful day. Drove all the way back up to my mom's house, and I'm going to go out riding around until my buddy Jacob gets home. I was going to go out riding around, and I was going to go over to his house and see him. So I'll go up to the park where everybody hangs out. And I'm pulling out of there, and I'm going down Lake Road, and cruising about 60, 65 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just feel the back left corner of the truck just clink. And I hear dragging, and I'm like, what in the heck is that? And I look in the side view mirror of the truck, and I see my tire chasing me down the road. I said, that ain't good.
No, it ain't.
So I slow down and just kind of drag to a stop, I get out the truck and I'm assessing the damage. And I haven't even noticed a very important thing yet, because I'm flipping right now because I don't know what to do. Another guy that was in behind me, thankfully, he had kind of took his truck. He had a big ranch hand bumper on it. He had kind of took his truck and stopped my tire. Stopped my tire for me, and I done got my tire and done got over and I'm going, dude, there ain't no lug nuts nowhere. It had done chipped two of my lugs on the truck. Studs. It had done chipped two of the studs on the truck. And I'm going, man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then about that time, a cop pulls up and he's going, you're going to have to get it out of here. You're going to have to get it towed or something. And I'm like, well, just give me a minute to figure it out. I'm going to get it out of here. No problem. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking what to do. And I was like, oh, well, I'll tell you what. I'll just take one lug nut off of each of the other wheels and put this one back on there. So I'm taking a lug nut off of each of the other wheels, and this little old lady pulls up. This little old lady pulls up, had to be 75 years old if she was a year. She's driving a little minivan. She pulls up and she goes, she holds up something in the air and she goes, honey, is this yours? And I looked. It was my brake drum. My entire brake drum had came off the truck. I hadn't even noticed it yet. I hadn't even noticed that I was missing the brake drum. It had done come off, and just she seen it come off when it happened. Or she seen me in the road, and she seen it way back there, a half mile back in the road where it started or whatever. And she stopped. She picked it up. She said, "I figured this might have been yours." And I was like, "Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate that." And it didn't hurt the brake drum.
Surprisingly,
they're solid steel. But I mean, even with that kind of impact or something, you figure it would have cracked it or something. But it didn't. It was still in okay condition. So I put the brake drum back on there, put the wheel back on there, 3 lug nuts. That would get me by, Made sure they were tight good. And I pulled off and went on about my business. The truck's not even shaking. You put them kind of as a 5-lug wheel pattern anyway. You kind of put them in a triangle shape there. And, that'll hold you for a day or two till you get some lug nuts. And went ahead and drove out to my buddy Jacob's house. Well, I get out to his house. I pick him up. We go riding around for a little bit. Nothing serious. Get back to his house. I'm fixing to leave for the night. It has just started getting good and dark. Like, it has just started getting good and dark. I turned my headlights on as he's getting out of my truck. I turned the headlights on, and I'm sitting there talking to him. He's standing outside the truck. I'm sitting there talking to him, and I kind of noticed I don't see my headlights on the ground. And I looked at my buddy. I said, Jacob, go around to the front of the truck, man. See if my headlights are on. And he goes around front. And he said, man, they're on, but they're like super dim. He said, like, they're barely shining like at all on the ground. And I was like, okay, well, let me try to get this thing on back to the house. The moon was bright. And we're out in the middle of nowhere. No street lights out there whatsoever. But the moon was bright that night. And I was like, I think I can make it back into town. And once you get back into town, you have street lights to go by, And I get back out on the road. And this, I'm doing fairly decent. I'm just going slow, 25, 30 mile an hour. Just, going slow. And thankfully, this car gets in behind me that's got some bright, super bright HIDs. So I pull my mirror down like this, and I pull my side mirror in like that, and I just let his fucking lights go up under my truck and shoot out the front and out around my truck and shoot out the front. And that gives me some extra light, So I'm using his headlights to see all the way the rest of the way into town. When I get into town, there's some street lights, so I'm good. And I get around over to where my mom lives and pull onto the road before you get to her road. I'm going down through there, and the street light was out right there where you turned onto her little road. The street light was out. Couldn't see nothing. Could not see nothing. It was pitch black right through. You could not see nothing. And I'm going, man, where's the road? Where's the road? I couldn't see the road. I was like, oh, I think this is it right here. This has got to be it. Well, I was off just a little bit.
How much is a little bit?
I don't know, 10, 12 foot. I turned onto the other side of the road. I passed the road before I turned is what it amounted to. Is really what it amounted to. I turned and I mowed over the stop sign. I seen the stop sign about a half a foot before I hit, about 2 foot before I hit it. I seen the stop sign. I was like, oh shit. And I hit the stop sign and it bent down. I was like, fuck it, I'm in it now. And I just stomped the gas and ran it on over. Ran it on over. The truck's bouncing up and down like it's right here. Dumbass teenagers, man. And I get back to the house, and I was like, because my mom lived like right there by the stop sign, and it dented my front bumper pretty good. I was like, oh man, I don't want the cops getting called. And so I went out there and attempted to bend the stop sign back up, and the stop sign was all the way down to the ground, but I guess it had just sprung the bevel or whatever. It wouldn't bend all the way back up. So the stop sign is bent at like a 45-degree angle.
He's just taking a rest.
And that's the way it stayed. I don't know when or if they ever fixed it, but it was like that for a couple of years after that. We were still around. But that was one of the many adventures that I had in that truck. That truck also had an innate way of wanting to kill me quite often. It had those special editions in 1986. They had special throttle cables, and they were special, all right. They were special ordered. You were going to wait every time you needed one 5 to 7 days through AutoZone for one to come in, or any parts store for that matter. They were real bad. They had this little slide on them when you hit the gas. This little slide was supposed to kind of slide back and forth, and it had its little purpose. But the problem was, it would always get kinked. You would hit the gas, and it would kink it. The slide wouldn't slide all the way back. It would kink like halfway.
Oh, dang.
And you would be stuck, 3/4 throttle or wherever you were at in the throttle at that time. That's where it was going to be stuck. And you were sitting there trying to stomp the gas, trying to get it to unkink itself, standing there, trying to stop it. And the first time it ever happened to me, I didn't know what was going on. And I'd been pulled out of my buddy's house, pulled out sideways, foot to the floor. And about a 1/4 mile up in front of me, there was this car pulling out of a factory. And I seen the car pulling out of the factory, and I was like, oh, okay, time to let out of it. And I let out of it, but the truck didn't let out of it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it kept itself to the floor. And I'm running down there to the floor, and I'm going, what's going on? What's going on? And I had done thought in my brain at the time, I didn't know the foot pedal was still to the floor. I wasn't paying no attention to that it hadn't came back up. I'm going, something bad's done happened. I figured I done broke the linkage, and my carburetor, the spring and everything up there done broke. It was just stuck wide open, So the only thing I could think to do is just slam on the brakes as hard as possible. So I slam on the brakes, kind of pedaled the brake, on and off, just slamming it on and off. And we're sliding. It's me and my buddy in the truck, and we're just sliding off of it, and we're coming up on the back of this car fast, man. And I was like, oh, crap. So I seen this little pull off over to the left, and the only thing I could think to do, I told my buddy, I said, hold on, dude. And I slammed the brakes as hard as I possibly could and snatched it down into first gear. And we just slid. We come completely sideways in the highway and slid into this little cutoff, and ended up, we were pointed back out towards the highway by the time we stopped.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, we done spun almost all the way around right there. And we come to a stop, and I threw the thing up in park. And I was like, oh shit, and the truck it just revved all the way out. And I reached up to turn it off, and I turned the key off, but it didn't cut off. I was like, what the hell, man? So I popped the hood real quick. I pop the hood and jump out, and I go up to the distributor, and I pull the coil wire off the distributor to make it die right there. And that's when I realized not only was my throttle cable jacked, but my ignition switch didn't want to work with the shit either.
Oh, man.
That was a bad day. Dang dog. I got towed from my high school out of my parking spot. In that truck.
For why?
Because I was leaving school one day. I done went and got in the truck and went to crank it up. And I mean, it's an old carburetor, It didn't have automatic choke. Didn't have a choke, period. And you had to pedal it a little bit. You had to pedal the gas, get it started. Well, I'm sitting there cranking it, and I'm trying to pedal it to get it started, and the throttle cable snapped. I was always having problems out the throttle cables, man. I had the truck like 6 months and went through like 7 or 8 throttle cables. It was insane. The most reliable throttle cable I ever had on that truck was one that Jeremy made on the side of the road one night out of baling wire and duct tape. Only one I ever had that didn't break. Or try to kill me. But either way, so I'd left it at the school. I didn't have an option. I left it at the school, called the parts store, 5 to 7 days to get one in. Kid you not, the truck was there the day before my parts came in. Because I was going by there every day, checking on my truck, Or I was at school and seeing my truck there, And every day it was there. The day before, it was there. I went and got my parts that morning as soon as the AutoZone opened, because I've been calling them every morning my parts in yet. That morning, as soon as they opened, like 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. Yes, sir, we got the parts. I went straight up there, grabbed the parts. I was in the parking lot by about 9:15. My truck was gone. I was like, where's my truck? Did somebody steal my truck? Like, where's my truck?
5 seconds.
And it got towed. The school towed my